goal line. Give it to him. He's able to push his way across.
Yeah, they went heavy there. Sometimes you have those big offensive linemen come in, have to report like they're eligible, but all they're doing is getting a good stance, blocking, and getting their runner across the goal line.
Rosas good with the extra point, and it's now a 7-0 game. Now after the touchdown, here's Rosas on to kick it away. This will be returned from deep in the end zone. And ultimately, he stopped right where he would have been if he had simply gone down to a knee at the 25. Patrick Mahomes on his way out for their next drive. And he'll need to find a way to shrug off the opening drive, if you can even call it a drive. One play and an interception, so he's got to forget that.
I know that in today's football, we have a good number of coaches who don't look at time of possession the way that the old school guys did. But there's still a place for it. I think that on this drive, after having thrown that interception, they're going to want to eat up a little bit more clock and run some offense and give their defense a little bit of a break.
They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. Taking a deep shot here for Hardman. Now a clash of bodies here, and it's intercepted. It's C.J. Henderson picking it off. And not the first quarter that he was hoping for. Now 2 interceptions thrown.
Well, the good ones, they find a way to compartmentalize, right? Put these behind them, have that short memory, but understand why they threw the 2 interceptions. They go on and usually play a pretty decent game. Other quarterbacks, they have a hard time getting past it and often put the ball up for grabs the rest of the ball game.
Now a handoff to start it out. Robinson. And that one blown up quickly as he's going to be stopped before he could even get started. So a loss of 5, and it'll be second down. Now Lawrence. And he's taken down. A Chiefs sack. It'll go in the books as a 7-yard loss on the sack, and it's third down. So now after the sack of Lawrence, the Jags looking at a 3rd and long. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. The throw for Claypool is intercepted. Picked off near the 26. And they're going to be set up in the red zone at the 15. And they'll take possession already in the red zone and in a great spot to add points to the scoreboard.
And Brandon, how many times have we seen a defense with a lot of field behind them get even more aggressive, right? They feel like they've got them not pinned down, but in a favorable spot for them, and they took advantage of it there. Got a nice interception and set up their offense in great shape.
Rolling to his right. And down inside the 10 here before he's out of bounds, right around the 7. He'll get 8 on the scramble there. It'll be second and a couple.
Exactly what they needed right there, because they needed to use the ground game to take some pressure off, because the quarterback's been struggling a little bit.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And they'll bring him down after just a short pickup. He'll get 2 out of that run, and it's going to bring up a 2nd and goal. They'll try to run this one in. And he will take it on in for a Chiefs touchdown. A great effort there. Taking it in. And the Chiefs are an extra point away from tying up this football game. Extra point by Butker is on target. And that will tie our score here in this opening quarter of play. So all even at 7 now as they kick it away. This will be fielded inside the 5. And he'll be stopped up at the 25. Out comes the Jacksonville offense as they get set to take over here. And following the interception, we'll see what they can put together on this drive.
I can hear my old college coach right now. He always used to tell us before every game, the team making the fewest mistakes will win. What they're hoping is that that last mistake is their only one of the game.
Coaches, that's all they talk about, turnovers, right?
Minimizing those. And
blitz coming, and down he goes. It'll go as a loss of about 6, and now it brings up third. And that is the third sack this offensive line has allowed this first quarter.
Yeah, that puts him on pace. Let me do the rudimentary math here. To be sacked 12 times in a game, I know he's not going to go for that. I wonder if it's going to reshape what they decide to do on offense in terms of play calling.
Well, I can tell you what, when he popped up, shaking his head, frustrated right now behind center. So now after the sack of Lawrence, the Jags looking at a 3rd and long. Now Lawrence on 3rd and long. And that is incomplete. Oh, he had a defender right there with him to force that to the ground. And 4th down now coming up.
My first thought is surprise, because that's one of the better tight ends around, and I've seen him pull in balls like this before. But how about a little credit to the defense forcing that incompletion?
And the Jaguars send out their punter as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. And he can't field it cleanly. It's loose. But fortunately, he's able to recover his own fumble, or that could have been trouble.
Let's go old school there. That's absolutely a great coffin corner punt. Someone's put some time in working on that, hasn't it?
Seems like every year these guys get better and better. It's amazing how they can command that football through the air.
Yeah, they used to actually practice with hula hoops where they place them and try and put them there. Now a lot of guys use barrels on the sidelines to try and put the football in one.
Mahomes now on 1st down. Escaping the pressure right. And he'll go out of bounds. Looks like right at the 15. He'll get 8 on the scramble there. It'll be 2nd and a couple. They go play action. Now Mahomes. They'll roll him out right. Now he's going to throw deep right side. And this is caught right along the sideline. What a job of keeping the toes in bounds there. A big play there for KC.
Big plays always wind up being a big theme as we get rolling in these playoffs, and the defenses that can avoid giving them up, but they're the teams that tend to go far. You may not eliminate those big plays, but if you can limit them, then you got a chance to get
Jaguar pressure and a Jaguar sack. So now 20 yards to go on 2nd down after the sack. Work to be done. He lets this one fly toward the back of the end zone. And he's caught. Touchdown, Kansas City. Mecole Hardman, 46 yards. And the Chiefs have taken the lead. Extra point by Butker is on target. And that makes the score 14-7. Just a 4-play drive that time. And it's capped off with a Kansas City touchdown. Now after the touchdown, here's Butker on to kick it away. This will be fielded inside the 5. And taken down just past the 20 at about the 21-yard line. Trevor Lawrence and the Jacksonville offense ready to go back to work. And I guess the question, Charles, is what's the formula for keeping him better protected? Because as we see, the protection, it struggled.
And normally what you get is renewed determination. When the big guy gets hit, That usually sparks people. Hey, we can't let this happen anymore. They take it personally. He's not supposed to be on the ground, but that hasn't been the case so far in this game. So maybe they've got to figure out how do they get rid of the ball faster to help out the offensive line so he doesn't get hit as much.
And we'll see if they can keep him off the ground now going forward. The Jacksonville offense set to begin their next drive. Rush coming, and he's taken down. A loss of 4 that time on the sack, and it brings up second.
But he continues, Charles, to be under constant pressure, and these sacks, they're starting to pile up.
And if they want to have a realistic chance in this one, they've got to change their blocking assignments. They've got to do a better job to keep him upright. If he's going to be on the deck constantly, they've got no chance to win this game.
Meanwhile, Lawrence's throw complete here to Waller.
4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a third down.
Here's Lawrence to throw.
Under pressure, and down he goes. And the defense coming through on third down. A loss of 7 to bring up fourth.
Through one quarter, 14-7 our score.
And the Jaguars send out their punter as he'll come on to kick this one away. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. Fielded just inside the 30. Cooper fast with a feet. A very good return that time. 18 yards. And it's Chiefs football. 1st and 10.
KC's offense ready to take over.
Now their last 2 drives, both ending in touchdowns. It's got them this 14-7 lead.
And it looks to me, and I think you're probably seeing the exact same thing, they're in an ideal spot now to create some separation. The way that they're functioning on offense now, they can create a pretty good gap. Allows their defense to...
And he's got Hardman in the end zone. Touchdown, Kansas City. Mecole Hardman.
2 catches, 2 touchdowns here so far. And the Chiefs strike quickly here for 6 points. Butker now to add the extra point. It's good, and it is now 21-7. Those are the kind of drives they like on offense, from the coordinator to the quarterback, the line, everybody. 1-play drive and into the end zone for 6. Now after the touchdown, here's Butker on to kick it away.
And it'll come out to the 25 as he will not attempt to return. Trevor Lawrence and the Jacksonville offense ready to go back to work.
He's got to dig deep here, doesn't he? Team's losing. He's not playing well either.
And they always tell you, don't press. You'll make things a little bit worse. But in this particular situation, you try and heighten your play a little bit. So far, he's thrown 1 interception. He wants to balance that off with at least 1 touchdown pass in order to get his team back moving forward.
Throwing now, Lawrence on first.
And the Chiefs are going to get him. It'll be a loss of 7 on the sack, and it brings up second.
Starting to wonder if this offensive line just simply doesn't like him. I mean, they've given up 6 sacks in this game. He's had nowhere to go, nowhere to run, and obviously nowhere to hide.
And all those sacks in the first half, this is just complete domination. It's a loss of 7. And
throw.
And a dump off. So no gain on the play. And it'll be 4th down.
Excuse my snarkiness here, but isn't the idea of completing a pass supposed to mean you get downfield and gain yards?
Especially on 3rd down.
Yeah, that one. How about the defense? Figured that one out in a big way. Yeah, they completed it all right and lost yardage.
The 48-yard punt, 7 on the return. And out will come the offense as they take over.
And Kansas City's offense now set and ready to go.
And last time the formula was pretty simple. 1-play drive, long pass. That maybe they just want to do that again, right?
And that's exactly how you want to draw things up. Whether it's on your grease board, right, in your playbook, 1-play drive is exactly what you want on offense. What they have to be careful of is not having a...
Well, this is taken in. It's complete. And all the way in for a Kansas City touchdown.
Mecole Hardman
saving his best for the playoffs with his 3rd touchdown of the game.
And the Chiefs continue to pull the playoff surprise as they lead big here on the road.
They talked about stringing together some explosive plays here in the playoffs. That was a pretty explosive play.
It certainly was. And if you're going to win on the road, it certainly helps to have big playability in your hip pocket, doesn't it?
Extra point by Butker is on target.
And the lead now to 3 touchdowns at 21. Now after the touchdown, here's Butker on to kick it away.
And this will not be brought out. It's a touchback.
Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
Well, you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
Looking again for Waller, and he's got him again.
And he gets this one just shy of the 40. They'll mark him down at the 39.
On first down, Lawrence.
And he can't escape, and down he goes. He couldn't get rid of it. He takes a sack for a loss of 6 to bring up second down. Another try after the first down sack. Lawrence able to find his man, John Phillips. No gain that time on the completion, and it'll be third down. The Jaguars on third down. A pretty woeful 0 for 5 thus far. This is 3rd and 16.
Looking to throw, Lawrence.
Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. And the defense coming through on third down. A loss of 7 to bring up 4th.
These sacks now, they're starting to pile up, Charles. And that front 7 defensively, they've had their way with this offensive line.
And I think at this stage, we have to start thinking about different play calls. We've got to start helping this quarterback out because the entire game he's been under siege. I don't care what the down and distance. They've got to get the ball out of his hands a lot quicker.
That'll be put in the books as a 53-yard punt. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. Out now the Chiefs offensive unit ready to do battle again. And following that long touchdown pass, a one-play drive last time, let's see if the defense, you know they're ready. They don't want that to happen again.
And you would have thought they would have been ready the last time. That's what you work on all the time. Make sure that no one gets behind you. That's the cardinal sin of defense, not giving up the long pass. They did. Let's see how they adjust.
Out to his left. Now he'll let it go on the run. Deep left side. And that will be incomplete. Tried to dial up the long way out there, but it'll be third down. He was looking that time to get it to Paris Campbell. And it's third down. That ball caught by Campbell. The 20. And all the way in for a Kansas City touchdown. Paris Campbell, 79 yards.
And the Chiefs are able to add on to their first half lead. Extra point by Butker is on target.
And the route is on here in this first half. Now after the touchdown, here's Butker on to kick it away.
And he'll decide to not bring this one out as their drive will begin at the 25. James Robinson and the rest of the Jags offense set to go to work once more.
They've given him some touches. They haven't had a lot of success on the ground. Do you maybe keep going to that well, or do you mix it up more?
I think you mix it up more, try to loosen things up, get the defense.
And he's taken down, a Chiefs sack. It'll be a loss of 7 on the sack, and it brings up 2nd. Coming up at the half, we remind you that we're going to do what we've done all year. We'll get you down to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. Coach will have the lowdown of what's going on here in this wild card weekend as we begin the road to the upcoming. Under pressure, and they got to him again. It'll go as a loss of about 6, and now it brings up 3rd.
So, Brandon, we sat in with a lot of coaches, and when they talk about things they want to accomplish offensively, I'm not sure that sack and sack are on their play sheet.
Switch.
On third down, it's Robinson. And they're able to bring him down at the 20. It'll be a gain of 7, but I'd imagine we'll see the punt team here on fourth down. And the Jaguars send out their punter. He's been one of their few bright spots so far. It's a net of 40 there, a punt of 48, and a return of 8. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs.
The Chiefs going to go back on offense here late in this first half. And with good starting field position and 3 timeouts as well in their pocket, no reason not to try and put a late scoring drive together.
Check 9. Check 24. Check 24.
Play action. Now it's Mahomes. Taking a deep shot here for Hardman. And he's got Hardman in the end zone. Touchdown, Kansas City. Mecole Hardman on his way to a historic performance. 4 first-half touchdowns. And the Chiefs are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead.
That score that they just gave up there, that's a tough one for their defense to swallow because they've had a tough time through the first 2 quarters. They really were determined to get a stop there. Unable to do so, that makes their comeback hopes that much more difficult.
Extra point by Butker is on target.
And a rout is on here in this first half. Now after the touchdown, here's Butker on to kick it away. And not wanting to risk anything here late in the half, he'll just take a knee and they'll bring the football out to the 25.
The Jaguars ready to go on offense for the final time in this first half. And we'll see how they want to play this. Just a little over 20 seconds to go. Now Lawrence on first down. Quickly into the hands of Waller.
The Jaguars going to go ahead and use their first timeout as they stop it with 19 seconds to go in half number 1.
On first and 10, it's Lawrence. That's out wide here for Robinson.
And able to rip off a big chunk of yardage before being dropped inside the 40. A big play there on the catch and run. So we're at halftime of this AFC wildcard matchup as we now go downstate to Orlando and check in with Jonathan